Hi traders, you are all welcome to another edition of Weekly Forex Forecast on FXless Trading School, which is for 21st to 25th of June, year 2021. In this week, I'm going to share with you some list of currency pairs I have on my watch list should in case of breakout of trade opportunities next week. If today is your first time viewing my YouTube channel, you are welcome. And then do not forget to subscribe to the channel as well hit on the notification bell, so whenever I release additional content of this kind, you're gonna be the first to be notified. Also remember, trading is a high risk and a high reward investment. Therefore, it's advisable you know what you are doing and then risk smartly. Here are the list of currency pairs I am watching out for next coming week. I have the British pound sterling paired against the USD. I have the USD paired against the Canadian dollars. I have the Canadian dollars paired against the Japanese yen, and then we're going to wrap up our analysis with the euro paired against the New Zealand. So let's dive into the weekly forex forecast right now. The first currency pairs on our watch list is the British pound sterling paired against the USD. After price failed to break above the key level resistance, which acts at the price level of the 1.42413, which was the previous resistance for price right here, price made a reversal downward under the key level structure, which acts at the price level of the 1.3992, which was support for price right here. Likewise, right here as a resistance, and the right here as a series of resistance structure failed to act as a support for price right here. Also, the dynamic trend line we got right here failed to act as a dynamic support, and we can see how the bears broke this key level structure. That was the last week. So next week, as a price action trader, the next key level structure we have to pay close attention to is a key level support, which acts at the price level of the 1.36847, which was the previous support for price right here. Likewise, right here, this formation right here acted as a double bottom for the bullish rally we got right here. So next week, failure for the bulls to defend this key level structure of the 1.36847, whereby it failed to act as support for bulls, then don't be surprised if the bears pull price downward to the next key level structure, which acts at the price level of the 1.34491. Alternatively, next week, if the bulls is helping whereby they pull price upward, they still have to clear off the key level structure, which is now acting as a resistance, and this key level structure acts at the price level of the 1.3992. So if you are willing to sell these currency pairs, you have to be very careful because price has moved too fast. So I think it's better off to wait if price can turn this level into a new resistance structure for a validation of a new resistance structure before actually short this currency pair. So next week, I'm going to patiently wait to see how price is going to react to the key level support, which acts at the price level of the 1.36847. Maybe it's going to hold price upward, or maybe the key level, which acts at the price level of the 1.3992, is going to serve as a new resistance structure for a bearish rally in this no change of a bullish trend we got right here. The next currency pairs on our watch list is the USD paired against the Canadian dollars. I personally took a trading position on this currency pairs. That was last week. As well, I shared this with my VIP members, students. So right here, we can see the trend had been in a strong bearish aggressive rally. But right here, we can see a series of what? Consolidation phase. Likewise, if you view in based on the lower time frame, you're going to figure out, we have a kind of a double bottom formation right here. So we got into this trade based on the lower time frame. That is the 4-hour chart frame. We detected this trade setup and then we took a long position. I personally am out on this currency pairs. That was last week. I got out at this level structure right there. So if you want to long this currency pairs, I think right now price had moved too fast. So next week, as a price action trader, I think you gotta look out for a retest. If we can figure out a retest of this dynamic trend line right here, which actually acts as a dynamic resistance for price right here, if this dynamic trend line can act as a dynamic support for price, that would be better. And then also take note of the confluence structure we got right here. That is a key level structure which acts at the price level of the 1.23803, which was the support for price right here. So there is a high tendency for this structure right here to act as a support for price as well. Don't forget the dynamic no trend line we got right there. So there's a lot of confluence factors you gotta put into consideration right here next week. So if we can figure out a retest of this level structure right there with a strong bullish price action signal, I think it's gonna be a very nice bullish setup, anticipation right there to the next potential minor key level resistance, which would act at the price level of the 1.26327, which was a resistance structure for price right there. Alternatively, you all know nothing is possible in the market. If the bear should set in whereby they put price downward, ensuring a bearish close of price below the dynamic trend line right here, likewise the horizontal key level structure right here, then don't be surprised if the bears aggressively put price downward to retest the previous key level structure, which we got at the price of the 1.21428, which was a resistance structure for price right there. So we are in the expectation this level should actually serve as a new support for price right there. So next week, focus your attention majorly on the key level structure we got at the price level of the 1.23803, and then the dynamic structure we got right here in expectation it should actually serve as a new support for price. But remember, nothing is guaranteed in this business, so you have to be very careful before you conclude on your personal or trading or decision. The next currency pairs on our watch list is the Canadian dollar paired against the Japanese yen. Last week, I shared with you how I long the USD paired against the Canadian dollars, and then as well, I short the Canadian dollar paired against the Japanese yen. So here it's a view how I shared the analysis with my personal VIP members. Here is it right there. There's Canadian dollar paired against the Japanese yen, round top formation. So I shared how I'm gonna take this currency trade. So likewise right there, I shared how I made an entry, my stop loss, take profit 1, take profit 2. So we got a massive profit on this trade setup right here. So this was a formation of a rounding top, so we short the rounded top. So I took my profit, so based on the dynamic structure we got right here. So I figure out technically there's a high tendency for this structure to serve as a support. Likewise, we got a key level structure which acts at the price level of the 88.218. So it actually did acted as a support for price. That was the last week. So next week, what are our expectations as a price action trader? So next week, I'm gonna patiently focus my attention to see how price is gonna react to this dynamic trend line right there. Maybe it's gonna act as a new dynamic resistance. Likewise right here, how price is gonna react to this support structure right here. Maybe it's gonna act as a valid support for the boost to make a pullback upward. However, if the boosts are gonna step in right here, they still have to clear off this minor key level structure we got at the price level of the 89.584. So there's a high tendency for this dynamic structure right there. Likewise, this minor key level structure to act as a resistance for the boost. So next week, focus your attention on this currency pairs to see if price can carve a bearish price action signal bar right here for a continuation of a bearish switch of this bullish rally. And then as well, focus your attention to see how price gonna react to this key level support. So which means if you want to short this currency pairs, you have to analyze your risk management, analyze your money management analysis right there. So it's very, very, very important because there's a lot of obstruction right here. If you want to short right here, there's high tendency for price to find a support right there because this was a previous resistance for price right here. So there's high tendency technically for price to find a support structure right here. So you got to be very, very careful if you want to short this currency pairs. But based on what I can figure out right there, I still support a bearish sentiment, not until I can figure out a pullback of price, then a validation of this level as a new resistance structure for a more bearish downward rally. It's time we wrap up our analysis with the euro paired against the New Zealand. So I have already shared this trade setup with a VIP members community of mine. So I already have a long position on this currency pairs based on the pin bar formation I got right here in reaction to this major key level structure which acts at the price level of the 1.69843. Actually, I made an entry based on the retest on the 4-hour chart frame. So I'm currently in profit, and then I have my stop loss at the last swing right there because I'm a swing trader. So I'm in expectation for a more bullish move on this currency pair. So the reason why I took this long position trade right there is due to the kind of technical pattern formation I can figure out right here. If you should figure out right here, we got a swing low, support structure, likewise right here, resistance for price, resistance for price, resistance, resistance, resistance. There was a clustering of price to this key level structure right there. At the end, price broke out with a well decisive close of bar above this level structure. So there's a lot of bullish sentiments on this currency pairs to come next week. As we can see, this is an ascending triangular formation we got right here, which supports bullish sentiment. Alternatively, next week, if the bear should put price downward and then ensure bearish close of bar below this support structure of the 1.69843, then don't be surprised. There's a high tendency for price to retest this dynamic trend line once again. So this was one of the reasons why I implemented my stop loss at the last swing, high low structure right here. So focus your attention right here. If you still want to make an entry right here, it's never too late, but you just have to exercise a small position size. Okay, make sure you analyze your risk level before you dive in for a long position on this currency pairs. Remember, this is not a financial or an investment advice. It's based on my personal opinion. Okay, so this is what I want to share with you guys in this week, and thank you for watching this video from the beginning to the end. Do not forget to like this video, put a comment down, and then subscribe to the YouTube channel. Very important, make sure you hit on the notification bell, so whenever I release highly additional content of this kind, you're gonna be the first to be notified. So have a wonderful weekend ahead. Peace.